The waveform was already playing before Dana clicked it. Case 1997-014, missing person, closed unsolved. She hadn't touched the file yet. The audio bar crept forward on its own, timestamp ticking 3 days after the closure date stamped on the case. She hit stop. It kept playing. A whisper, thin under static. I never made it home. Cold coffee smell drifted up from her mug, gone stale an hour ago, except she'd poured it 4 minutes earlier. She pulled the next file. 2003. Different name, different county road, different decade. Same whisper, same 6 words, same trembling pause before home. Her hands went cold before the room did. She pulled a third, a fourth, whisper after whisper, 20 years deep, every voice belonging to whoever the case file said had vanished, and every voicemail logged after the date they were last seen. The overhead light buzzed, dimmed half a shade, came back. She checked the recording device field on the oldest file. Device, inactive, no call received. And yet the audio sat right there, waveform breathing across the screen like a pulse. Her radio hissed once. Dead air, the kind between transmissions. And underneath the hiss, so faint she almost missed it, the same whisper layered 1 second behind itself. She yanked her headset off. Silence. She scrolled to the most recent entry in the archive, meaning to close the whole folder and blame the migration software. The newest case wasn't a decade old. It had no name. Caller unknown, match pending, badge 4471. Her badge number. The dispatch room felt smaller than it had 5 minutes ago, the way a hallway feels smaller in the dark, even though nothing has moved. She stood up too fast. Her chair rolled back on its own an extra foot, like something had needed the space. She called the records office in the morning. No answer. 3 rings, then a click, then the same whisper, faint, folded into the dial tone before the line finally disconnected itself. She didn't call again. Instead, she pulled the shift logs. Every dispatcher who'd worked this desk alone at night, going back 20 years, 6 names. 4 resigned abruptly. 2 were filed as missing themselves, both cases unsolved, both containing the whisper. Everyone exactly 48 hours before a scheduled solo night shift. She checked her own schedule. Night shift. Alone. 48 hours from now. The vents kicked on above her desk, blowing cold directly onto her hands. Nowhere else in the room. She reviewed the security footage instead of thinking about that. Static, frame by frame. Empty hallway, empty door. Then, for one single frame, the exterior door handle turned a 1/4 inch, no one on either side of the glass. She rewound it. The handle sat still, played it again, turned. The old cassette backups from the original 1997 dispatch system were still boxed in the records closet. She fed one into a borrowed deck, needing to hear it outside the database, away from any software that could be corrupted. Same whisper, same 6 words pressed into analog tape decades before any of this equipment existed to glitch. Underneath it, barely audible, a second sound she hadn't caught on the digital copy. A soft metallic click, over and over, like a lock testing itself. She sat with that sound a long time before she noticed the coffee in her mug had gone cold again, though she hadn't touched it. The clock on the wall read 6 minutes slow. It had read 6 minutes slow in 1997 too. She checked the file. Same 6 minutes, exactly. Her phone lit up on the dispatch counter at 3 a.m., screen flickering once before settling. Missed call. Her own number. Voicemail. 1 second long. Impossible for a call that had never connected. She played it anyway. The whisper was hers. Her own voice. Hoarse with something that hadn't happened to her yet. I never made it home. Timestamp. 48 hours from now to the minute. The air went sharp with ozone, the way it does before a storm that never breaks. She pulled up the archive one more time, hands shaking enough that the mouse skipped twice. A new case sat at the very top now, above all 20 years of them. No case number, no name field filled, just status, pending, location, dispatch center, Harlan County. Her chair recorder, the one that logged calls for training review, unplugged since spring, blinked its red light awake in the dark corner of the room. She hadn't touched it. She unplugged the cord fully this time, held the loose end in her hand. The light stayed on. Somewhere down the hallway, faint, a single footstep on tile that hadn't been walked on all night. She checked the hallway camera, empty, but the temperature gauge above the door had dropped 9 degrees in the time it took her to look away and look back, and her breath had started fogging in front of her own monitor. The whisper played once more, on its own, from a folder she hadn't opened. Closer this time. Not through the speaker, through the vent above her desk. She tried to call out of the shift. Nobody picked up. She tried to leave early. The relief dispatcher never showed. So she sat there, 48 hours later, exactly on schedule, alone in the dispatch center at Harlan County, waiting for a phone call that had already happened once before it occurred. At 3 a.m., the front door latch turned. Not opened, locked, from the inside. She was the only one inside. She checked the door panel, engaged, green light steady, no hand near it. The recording system logged everything in the building automatically. She'd forgotten that until the little red light above her console blinked once, capturing the sound of the lock she'd just heard with her own ears. She played it back to be sure she wasn't imagining it. The click was there, clean, undeniable. And underneath the click, layered a half-second behind, her own whisper, already recorded, already finished, saying the sentence before her mouth had finished moving to say it. She felt her lips shape the words a beat too late to be the first voice. I never made it home. The vents breathed cold across the back of her neck. The chair recorder's light glowed steady red, watching, patient, the way it had watched every desk before hers for 20 years. Somewhere in the archive, a new file was already saving itself, timestamp ticking forward in real time. Case status, closed. The dispatch radio crackled once, and through the static, faint, already looping toward whoever sits at this desk next, came the whisper. Hers now, permanently, waiting patiently for someone new to find it.